Don't let one bad leg haunt your parlay. Parlays turn into payouts, and now even near misses won't haunt your bet. The NFL season is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is rewriting the rules with Ghost Leg, a new game-changing promotion that turns close calls into cold, hard cash. Best of all, it's available to all DraftKings customers. Here's how it works. Build any 3+ leg pregame NFL parlay on Sunday, apply your Ghost Leg token, and if one leg loses, DraftKings makes it vanish like it never existed and pays you out in cash for the rest. Last season, over 30 million parlays were lost by a single leg. This year, Ghost Leg gives those busted bets a second life. No more busted parlays that haunt you all season. With Ghost Leg, the bad leg vanishes. The payout doesn't. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PFF. That's code PFF to unlock Ghost Leg, the promotion that makes one bad leg disappear and pays you out in real cash. Ghost your losses, get your payout in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Lace up your shoes. Lace up your shoes for the victory lap that you get to take for this one. Because even if it's just 1 week, it's just 1 week. The Dolphins and the Colts, this is Indianapolis. And, boy, this was a butt-whooping at its finest. Indianapolis wins this game 33-8. The Daniel Jones era has begun. Top 5 graded players that we have for the Colts in this one. Look at Edge 1. Look at Edge 1.
The interception, what a play.
Latu. You know what's funny about that interception? I'm going to break it down when I talk a little bit more about Tua Tagovailoa. I don't think he's supposed to be there. Like, I think he was literally just, like, roaming around watching Tua's eyes, and he made a hell of a play. But I watched Tua's turnover-worthy plays, and I was like, dude, I don't even know if I put as much blame on you for this one, because I don't even think he's supposed to be there. Anyways, 91.5 overall defensive grade. You love to see this as well. Tyler Warren, rookie debut, elite 90.4 overall grade. We said for so long that he was just destined to be an Indianapolis Colt. Now he is, and he's playing well. This is why. Safety Cam Bynum, an 87.2. Cornerback Xavier Howard with an 80.8. Center Tanner Bordolini, a 77.6. And then quarterback Daniel Jones in this one, a 72.8. On Miami's side of things, offensive tackle Patrick Paul was their top-graded player with an 84.9. Linebacker Tyrell Dodson with a 76.3. Center Aaron Brewer with a 70.8. Safety Minkah Fitzpatrick now back in Miami with a 65.5 to start this season. And then running back Devon Achane with a 64.6. Tua Tagovailoa in this one, a 52.5. All right, Dalton, go ahead. You told us all offseason, hey, the Daniel Jones edition, it's not just some punching line. It's not just, something that we go, oh, yeah, here's another. Oh, look at Anthony Richardson. He can't even beat out Daniel Jones. You said this had a chance to work, and boy, did it ever in week 1.
Did it ever.
How did it look?
I told you it was week 1 money, and Daniel Jones was money. And the entire thing, really. Look, Shane Steichen, when you look at, you know what they're calling it, Trev, the perfect game.
Who's calling it the perfect game?
Everybody is.
Who's everybody?
One of one, me. It's the perfect game.
Nobody's calling it the perfect game.
But you saw the stat on this, right?
No, I know. You are right.
First quarterback this century.
Yeah.
To score on every drive of a game. I figured at some point Peyton Manning or somebody would have done it. That sounds like a stat that Peyton Manning would have accomplished. But an entire 7 for 7.
Now, you know who I actually thought would have had that is Drew Brees.
That's a good call.
Peyton, yeah. I understand not having it. Sometimes he has drives where he just kind of like,
we just take the day off.
He goes off the rails a little bit. Even like Brady, kind of the same thing. Generally, it's phenomenal. But like Brees, an assassin.
Because here's the weird part about that stat. Is generally, though, like maybe a lot of those guys got close, but then you get to that last drive and you take a knee, right? And then it doesn't count. It still counts as a drive. So, Daniel Jones.
So maybe Drew Brees did do this.
Well, no, if he took a knee at the end, it doesn't count.
But that's what I'm saying.
Not
maybe
every
he
drive.
Really did do that. You're just taking
a kneel down is technically a negative play.
I know what it is.
It's one negative play added to the ledger. That's tough. Either way, the perfect game, Trevor. And honestly, it was the perfect game for more than anything for Shane Steichen. This is what he wants his offense to look like. That was my argument for Daniel Jones the whole time, is that he can run Shane Steichen's offense. And Daniel Jones grading is 72.8. They get that every week. they're going to be pretty good. There were some misses, and there was still some things. They scored 33 points. They scored on every drive. They could have easily scored the 45 or 49 that they had the potential to on these 7 drives. But I look at what Steichen did here. He still ran the ball 53% of the time. 24, almost a quarter, 24.7% RPO rate. If you stretch that across a whole season, that would have been the highest in football last year. 38% play action rate. 14 explosive plays and only 4 negatives, and you had the ball for almost 39 minutes. This is Shane Steichen's offense. And he needed a quarterback. He was talking about Daniel Jones afterwards and talking about some of the little details and checks at the line of scrimmage and just the ability to get us into the right play and even just the small things that you wouldn't often think about. That's what he said is the difference with Daniel Jones right now. And Anthony Richardson, obviously talented, very young. There's a lot of depth in this offense that he just needs to get used to, right, over time. Daniel Jones can do those things right now. So honestly, people may have expected us to come in here and give him a 95 grade, and there was some misses. And is it always pretty with Daniel Jones? Not always, but in this offense, he did everything exactly how he needed to against the Miami Dolphins team that's really struggling.
Yeah, look, he was certainly good in this game. I'm not going to call him great. I'm not going to call him perfect. But he was good. He was exactly what they needed to be. And certainly for the Colts defense to be able to take advantage of things like that. So I thought that, calling it a perfect game, you could print the shirts if you want. I'll take one. It's a medium. But I think that really it was just more of this was the perfect Shane Steichen game. I agree with you. Where he was saying, look what happens when I have a quarterback who can just operate things for me. Give me my healthy Jonathan Taylor that I can hand the ball off to. Give me a defense that is continuing to improve and now has Lou Anarumo as their defense coordinator, and we can win football games. We'll get to the Dolphins in a second because the vibes could not be any lower in Miami. But hat is off to the Colts and what they were able to do. I do think that, and kudos to you for saying hey, we got to watch out for Daniel Jones. This isn't just some he happened to win it over Anthony Richardson, but he's also still going to be bad. You pointed out a way for him to be somebody that this team could win with, and certainly they were in week 1. My stat that told the story is, of course, Tua Tagovailoa, 4 turnover-worthy plays in this game. I want to focus on 2 of them specifically. One, not the Latu one. I mentioned that one.
He was freelancing.
Latu drops into coverage and he completely freelances and he cuts off the pass, and it's okay, buddy, great play. Obviously, you don't want Tua to throw it, but football is. I think people forget how fast football is. And at one point, Latu gets off the line of scrimmage and he kind of drops to the same level as where I think the nickel defender is. And at one point, they're literally standing next to each other. And I think either the nickel defender kind of looks at him or he looks at the slot defender and he goes, oh, okay, he has this area. Let me go somewhere else. And it's at that moment that he just moves to the middle of the field that Tua throws the ball and he kind of just goes, wait a second, and he puts his hands up and he gets the interception. So it was great, right place, right time for him, and he capitalized on it. I'm not really going to talk about the fumble either. Yeah, he's got to hang on to the football. You don't like anytime the quarterback fumbles, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the other 2 turnover-worthy plays. The first one, they're down 3-0 in the first quarter. He overthrows Tyreek Hill horribly, and it gets intercepted. If he hits Tyreek Hill on the money, which we have seen him do many, many times before, it was on this deep crossing over route, Tyreek Hill scores. There's no one that catches him. That is a 7-3 ball game. It's different to start this game. But instead, it's a turnover-worthy play, and we're going the other way. Tyreek Hill's pissed on the sideline. Tua is obviously pissed at how things are going, and that's when the vibes really started to get bad in Miami because it felt like they were walking on thin ice anyways, and he airmails it past him on a pass that should have been a touchdown. This was not that difficult of a throw either. Not that playing quarterback is easy. I understand. I'm not trying to oversimplify a very difficult job. But he should have been able to hit Tyreek Hill in this pass, and it should have been 7-3 right there. The other one is a play where this one's a little bit more complex. The Colts come out, but like Lou Anarumo does, he likes to move his safeties up and down. He likes to confuse what the quarterback sees. Pre-snap, when the defense broke the huddle, they were in too high. So it's open middle of the field. So you think to yourself, for middle of the field routes, for dig routes, and things that are going to like a deep cross or whatever it is, something that's going to attack over the intermediate middle of the field, I'm going to be able to hit that because there's not a single high safety there. But as they were rotating a guy pre-snap, there was pre-snap motion before the ball was hiked. One of the safeties comes down, the other safety rotates to a single high position. Tua, I can't remember exactly where he was looking, but he did not see the fact that safety now put middle of the field closed. And he tried to go to that player, and that was another turnover-worthy play there. These are the things that Tua has to be able to see when your goal is to get the ball out of your hands before 2.75 seconds, right? All of those things go into this. The Miami Dolphins want to be an offense where the ball is coming out of Tua's hands faster than average more times than every team in the NFL. They want Tua's time to throw between 2.5 and 2.6. They want him to have one of the fastest time to throws in the NFL because they know that they sort of have to mitigate some offensive line deficiencies, and they just want to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers to make things happen after the catch with all the speed that they have on their team. If Tua is going to be that kind of quarterback, he has to see that stuff. He has to see that stuff because you are not afforded the extra half second to second that some of these guys have where you see to yourself, like some quarterbacks, that exact same situation might have happened. But in different offenses, different philosophies, different structures, they might have gone to throw the ball, even maybe started to wind up. I'm doing it lefty for Tua, so you know that I'm authentic about it. They might have started to wind up, see the safety is there, and then kind of go, oh, okay, hold on, wait. And they would have broken the pocket. They would have scrambled and they would have escaped. That is not what Tua is taught to do. Tua is taught you have 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, get rid of the football. And if he is not an assassin about how he sees the field, that's the result. So that was my sort of stat that told the story about digging into Tua's 4 turnover-worthy plays. To me, it was a philosophical thing for the one, but the other one is just straight up, you got to hit Tyreek Hill. You have to hit that throw. Have to hit that throw.
And the problem is it's philosophical, yes. They want to get rid of the ball quickly anyway. They don't have the pass protection for him to sit there and hold it for 3 and 3.
Right.
So for the sake of the pass protection, he can't throw it late. And I'm not always the biggest guy of like, arm strength is the barometer of every quarterback. But Justin Herbert can throw the ball late. Josh Allen can throw the ball a split second
100%.
late. Tua cannot. Tua's got, of the 32 starters, at bottom 10 arm in the NFL, if I'm being nice about it. I mean, it's not great. There's not a whole lot of drive. There's not a whole lot of extra gas in his arm like those guys.
I thought his arm was a little overrated when he was coming through the draft.
Right. Yeah. I mean, let's call it average. Whatever. The arm strength. They're for multiple reasons. He cannot afford to be late, which is the problem of now. If he's going to miss throw, if he's going to be on time and just miss, you have a bigger problem. Plus, we have questions about the offensive line. No, you mentioned it before. The vibes in Miami could not be lower. And there's a lack of, and to me, this goes back to the second half of last year. The game I'll remember for a long time. Thanksgiving night last year in Green Bay. From the first snap, they looked like they didn't even want to be out there. And there were moments in this game that I felt like this team just didn't want to be out there.
Well, I don't know. So my most disappointing is Mike McDaniel, and I don't know. I don't know how fair that is to even say Mike McDaniel, but I don't even know where else to place it. I mean, maybe the most disappointing is just I should say the vibes. But Tyreek Hill, end of last season, last game of the year, basically says, I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm out.
There he is.
So then he sort of walked that back and apologized. But even like during training camp, Tua was like, yeah, I mean, he's still working on getting everybody's trust back. It's like, okay, that's not good.
It's your best player.
I was going to say, you guys forgive him or not? Like, I mean, because if you didn't, then you might as well trade him because it was never going to be perfect for Miami. And Tua misses one throw. Tyreek Hill's kind of freaking out on the sideline a little bit. Now, to be fair, he wasn't like yelling at Tua or anything, but you could tell he's visibly frustrated. He was already frustrated last year. So now we're starting out. That relationship is already on, rocky ground, rocky foundation. Bradley Chubb, I don't know if you caught this, after the game, they asked him, they're like, hey, like, why couldn't you guys, defend the run better? And why weren't you guys, like, able to sort of just play better as a team? And he's like, everybody's freelancing out there. He's like, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but he said multiple times freelancing. Like, people were not playing together. So they're not even trusting the defensive structure that they're playing within. They don't even trust the calls. They don't even trust their assignments. They're just freelancing. That's what Bradley Chubb was saying after the game. And then Tua at the podium, again, I'm paraphrasing here, was basically saying they were asking him about, like motivation for the team and like focus in the team, like all that kinds of stuff because, you get your ass whooped in the first game of the season. And he was basically like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see who shows up on Tuesday. And you're like, dude, this is game one, man.
Yeah. It's the
just
problem of the very, very first job of any coach is the buy-in part.
Well, you have to command respect.
It's not the scheme. It's not situationals. That's all ancillary at a certain point. The first thing you need is every guy on a team to buy in. And the guys that don't buy in are going to be gone. And if you have a whole team that's not buying in, then you have a bigger issue, right? And this is what you have when you have a team, a talented team. It's not like they have no talent at all. They got obviously a good defensive line. I think they didn't play well in this game. Hill and Waddle and Tua. This is a team that needs their best players to play their best to win, but they have the talent to do it. But if they don't have the buy-in, this game just looked like a lot of the games they played to me the second half of last year. It just the morale is way, way down.
Yep.
They're playing New England this week. And New England's going to be raring to go after losing a tight game this past week. We're going to find out just about everything left that we need to know. We're going to find out everything we need to know about the Dolphins this coming week against New England.
All due respect to New England Patriots, who I think are going to become a very good football team under Mike Vrabel. Miami should absolutely win this game. And if they don't, I don't know if there's a path of redemption.
But I can't sit here and say I'll say this for the Patriots, right? Very young team. Mm-hmm. Maybe some spots they're lacking talent. Mm-hmm. But at no point in that Raider game did they not look bought in.
No. But
if they're cohesive and the Dolphins aren't, then the Patriots will win.
But that's what I'm saying is the Dolphins should win this game, unless nobody's bought in. They are more talented than the Patriots. They should beat the New England Patriots. The game in Miami, they go into Foxborough.
I don't remember that part.
I would think that it would be in Miami because the Patriots just hosted and Miami just went on the road.
I can get 2 in a row maybe. It's in Miami, yeah. Going home to play the Patriots.
This is about as must-win of a Week 2 game as you're ever going to see for a head coach.
Yep.
For Miami. Anything else before we move on?
What do I have? The defensive line needs to play better. Like I said, offensively, you talked about Tua and Hill need to play better. Your best players on this defensive line, they got dominated by the Colts O-line. 40.7 grade as a unit. You're talking about Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson, Kenneth Grant, Zach. There's a lot of good players on that D-line. They got blown out in the trenches. And my most impressive, let's go back to the rookie from Penn State, Tyler Warren. He's a centerpiece in this offense already. Mm-hmm. He is just ridiculous. I think you know what? Maybe we didn't give him enough hype for potential rookie of the year. We didn't get a tight end last year despite a special season. Tyler Warren's already an integral part of this offense. 3.17 yards per route run. Not only volume with the 7 catches, but efficient as well. And how about an 88.6 run blocking grade? Just dominant on the ground, too. If he's going to do that both ways, you're talking about a guy who's going to be a top 5 tight end. Tyler Warren, he was great in the preseason, spectacular in this first game. We're going to talk about him a lot this year.
Yeah, we are. He's fantastic.